Okay, hello guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Kung hindi ka pa nakapag-subscribe, mag-subscribe ka na. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Subscribe na, then click the notification bell, like, and share. Okay, so our lesson for today is all about human reproductive system. Okay, so tatalakayin natin yung male reproductive and female reproductive system. Okay, so this is our most essential learning competency. Describe the parts of the reproductive system and their function. Okay, so these are objectives. Identify the male-female reproductive system and its major parts. Prepare a report about the advantages, blah, blah. Prepare a report about the advantages and disadvantages of being male and female, and using the correct terms to refer to the male and female reproductive parts. Okay? So ano nga ba ang reproduction? So it says here that reproduction is the process of producing new individuals or offspring. So ito yung purpose ng reproduction. Okay? Yung reproductive organs natin. Ito po yung function niya. To produce new individuals or offspring or yung tinatawag nating procreation. Diba? So para hindi maubos yung ating lahi, yung lahi ng tao. At lahat naman ng organism ginagamit ito. Diba? Yung reproduction. So, may tinatawag tayong dalawang klase ng reproduction. We have sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Since human reproductive system yung tatalakayan natin dito, ibig sabihin sexual reproduction lang yung meron tayo. Okay? So, it involves two parents, isang lalaki, isang babae. Okay? And the parents produce a specialized cells called gametes. So tinatawag natin yung cell, yung sperm cell at saka yung egg cell na gametes or gamete cells. So, magkakaroon lang ng offspring or new creation once na nagkaroon ng union ang sperm cell at egg cell. Nagkakaroon ng fertilization. At doon na magsisimula yung buhay. Pero mag-focus lang tayo sa male reproductive and female reproductive parts. So, una nating tatalakayin ang male reproductive parts. So, may iba-iba tayo yung ito po yung male reproductive part. Okay, disclaimer lang po. I'm just using these pictures to in my teaching demo. Okay. First part of male reproductive system is testes. Okay? Pag singular, testes. Okay? The testes, commonly known as testicles, are a pair of ovoid glandular organs that are central to the function of the male reproductive system. Bakit? Bakit ito yung central to the function of male reproductive system? Kasi testes are responsible for the production of sperm cell and male sex hormone called testosterone. Okay? Patulad sa sa puberty stage, itong testosterone ang yung hormone natin o yung hormone na testosterone ang tumutulong sa atin para kumbaga magkaroon ng changes sa ating katawan. Diba? Then testosterone is responsible for the development of the secondary sex characteristics such as body hair, muscle development, and deep voice of male. So may responsible siya. Okay? Responsibility siya sa ating changes. Okay? Physical changes. Okay? So ito yung testes pag dalawa. Okay. Next is scrotum. It contains the testicles. So, ito yung protector ng ating testes, yung scrotum. So, maraming ding nerves or blood vessels dito sa scrotum. So, it has the protective function and act as a climate control system for the testes. Okay. Bakit siya sinabi na climate control system? Kasi ito yung nagre-regulate doon sa climate. Kasi pag sobrang na-expose yung testis natin sa high temperature, may possibility na mamatay yung sperm na nandoon sa testes. So kinakailangang mababa yung temperature or hindi kataasan yung temperature noong scrotum natin o para hindi mamatay yung sperm cell. For normal sperm development, the testes must be at temperature slightly cooler than the body temperature. So, iba yung temperature ng scrotum natin, yung testis natin, doon sa katawan natin. Okay, ito po yung scrotum. Ayan, yung bumabalot po sa ating testis. Okay, next is seminiferous tubules. So, seminiferous tubules function to produce sperm, maintain sperm, and store the sperm. So, during the process of meiosis, so the sertoli cells that line the seminiferous tubules undergo the process of differentiation to be converted into sperm. So, ito yung responsible in producing sperm and maintaining sperm and storing the sperm. Okay? Nasa loob po siya ng testis. Okay? Testicular seminiferous tubules. So maraming tube dyan. Kumbaga, sa bahay, maraming kwarto. Okay? Ganon din dito sa testis. Marami siya ditong section kung saan siya ang nag-produce ng sperm. Okay? At nag-i-store ng sperm. At kapag mature na po yung sperm, pwede na po siyang lumabas dito. Dadaan siya sa epididymis. Okay? Ito po yung epididymis. Okay? Okay. Cowper's glands, seminal vesicles, prostate glands are active in producing fluids that serve as nourishment for the semen and lubrication of the duct. Okay? The fluid secreted by these glands and the sperm form the fluids called semen. Okay. So, ito po yun. Seminal vesicle, yung ating ejaculatory duct, prostate gland, at Cowper's gland, responsible po sila mag-release ng fluid. Okay? Tinatawag po natin yung seminal fluid. So, ito po yung reason kung bakit nakakagalaw or nakakapag-swim yung sperm cell. Okay? Kasama po yung sperm cell dito sa seminal fluid. Once na matured na po yung sperm, dadaan po siya sa vas deferens patungong ejaculatory duct. At itong seminal vesicle, mag-release to ng fluid same as at prostate gland at itong Cowper's gland. Mag-release sila ng fluid. They add nourishment to that sperm. Okay, next is the epididymis. The epididymis or epididymides, tama ba yung pag-pronounce ko? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is a tightly coiled mass of thin tubes that carries sperm from the testes to the ductus deferens in the male reproductive system. The sperm matures as it passes through the epididymis so that it is ready to fertilize ova by the time it enters the ductus deferens. Okay, kapag matured na po yung sperm cell natin, lalabas po siya dito sa epididymis. Ito yung pinagduduktungan ng testis at saka ng vas deferens. So, dadaan siya dyan. Kumbaga, ito yung entrance niya, papuntang vas deferens. Next is vas deferens. So, this is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity to just behind the bladder. Okay? This transport mature sperm to the urethra, the tube that carries urine or sperm to outside of the body in preparation for ejaculation. Okay? So ito yung responsible sa kanya. Ito yung vas deferens na yan. Once na mature yung sperm, magta-travels yung sperm dito papuntang ejaculatory duct, prostate gland, seminal vesicle, magre-release yan ng fluid palabas dito sa pathways na ito. Palabas ng penis. Okay? Next is urethra. So male urethra connects the urinary bladder. Mabubulol ako. The urinary bladder to the penis, to the penis. Ano nga? Okay. So once the bladder becomes full, urine flows through the urethra and leaves the body at the urethral meatus, which is located at the tip of penis. So the urethra is more than just a urinary duct. It also serves as a conduit for semen and sperm during sexual acts. So, isa lang po kasi yung pathway or channel ng ihi at saka ng semen. Isa lang yung passageway nila. So, ito yon. Okay? Ito yung urethra. Lalagyan ito ng ating urine. Mag-open siya once na mag-release tayo ng urine. Okay? Pag nag-urinate tayo. At kung active naman tayo, sexual active naman, magsasara yung opening dito sa bladder. At ang padadaanin naman is yung seminal fluid. Okay? Yung semen. Papalabas. Okay? Okay, next is ejaculatory duct. So each ejaculatory duct is formed by the union of the vas deferens with the duct of the seminal vesicle. They pass through the prostate and open into the urethra at the seminal colliculus. During ejaculation, semen passes through the prostate glands, enters the urethra, and exits the body via the urinary meatus. Okay, ito po yun. Di ba? Galing siya sa vas deferens. Dadaan siya dito sa ejaculatory duct. Magpapas siya dito sa prostate gland. Magsasara yung urethra dito. At lalabas siya doon sa may channel. Okay? Palabas ng penis. Next is erectile tissue. So erectile tissue exists in places such as the corpora cavernosa of the penis and in the clitoris or in the bulbs of vestibule. During erection, the corpora cavernosa will become engorged with arterial blood, a process called skin. Okay, sorry for the pronunciation. I am not sure that pronunciation. Okay, so ano ba yung corpora cavernosa? Ano yung clitoris? Ano yung vestibule? Yung vestibule, ito yung opening part ng ating penis. Diyan lalabas yung ating yung seminal fluid. Okay? Ito po yon. Ito po yung tawag dito, erectile tissue ito. So, marami po diyang blood vessels. And once na sexual active, ito ay mag-e-erect and naka-harden siya. So this is what a sperm cell look like. So microscopic ito, hindi natin nakikita. Sobrang liit niya. So ito po yung itsura niya. Ito po yung head, the middle piece, and tail. So sa head, nandun po yung nucleus, yung genes, okay? Ito yung genetic material na once nag-combine yung egg cell at sperm cell, magkakaroon ng fertilization. at yung genetic copy ng ating parents. Yung neck, ang mitochondrial spiral shape, and the plasma membrane. Ito yung nagsisilbing tail ng sperm cell para siya ay makalangoy or mag-swim kasama noong seminal fluid. Kasi yung seminal fluid, ito yung tumutulong para mag-swim yung sperm cell. Okay? The testes produce millions of sperms, which are the male gametes. A sperm is very tiny and can be seen using a microscope. Okay? And the nucleus of the head contains the hereditary information. Okay? So ito po yung male reproductive part natin. And these are the functions. Summary. Testes produce male gametes or sperms. Scrotum holds and protects testes. Penis places sperms in the vagina. Epididymis stores sperms. Urethra carries sperms and urine out of the body. And seminal vesicle produces fluid that nourish sperms, and prostate gland produces fluid that neutralizes the acidity of urine. Okay, life lesson. So we just have learned the parts of the male reproductive system. So you should not make fun of the terms that refer to your reproductive system. Diba? Let us educate ourselves. Okay? So this is for educational purpose only. Diba? Para hindi naman tayo, para wala namang, para may alam din naman tayo. Hindi tayo yung, ah, kumbaga, walang alam sa mundo. Kailangan din natin pag-aralan ito. Okay, why do you think it is important to use the correct terms to refer to the male or female reproductive parts? Kasi parang pangit kasi pakinggan, 'di ba? Kung yun yung kung ano yung terms. Gumagamit kasi tayo ng euphemism, yung mga ibang terms na ma-lighten yung ano, yung yung word, kumbaga yung impact ng word na iyon kasi medyo ano 'to, medyo sensitive na itong topic na ito, 'di ba? Sa mga parts. So gumagamit tayo ng mga ibang terms para ma-lighten naman, para hindi naman siya masamang pakinggan kapag binibigkas natin yung mga parts na yun. Okay? Next is female reproductive system. So this is female reproductive system. We have the ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, bladder, rectum, vagina, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Yan. Ito yung female reproductive system. Okay, isa-isahin natin. So, ovary is the main organ of the female reproductive system. So, the ovaries are oval in shape pala, and located in the lower part of the abdomen. So, they produce the female sex cells or ova, and likewise secrete the female sex hormone estrogen. Kung sa lalaki, testosterone. Sa babae naman, estrogen. Okay? Ito yung tumutulong sa physical changes ng mga female. Okay? So there are millions din ng egg cell. Pero ang kaibahan naman nito, ang nire-release lang ng ovary ay isang egg cell lang. Okay? Every 28 days. Biruin nyo yun. Isa lang, once every 28 days lang naglalabas ng egg cell. Okay? Next is estrogen. It is responsible for the development of female sex characteristics, such as the development of breast, broadened pelvis, and the female pattern of fat distribution. So they also play a large role in the menstrual cycle. So sa next lesson natin, pag-aralan natin yung menstrual cycle. Ano ba yung menstrual cycle? Okay, ito yung ovary. Next is eggs. The eggs are already formed in the ovaries. So these immature eggs are enclosed in the follicles. So the follicle is a bubble-like structure that stores and protects the eggs until they mature at puberty. So when a girl reaches puberty at the age of 10 to 14, a fully developed egg is released from either of the ovaries. So this process is called ovulation, yung 28 days nga. So ito yung itsura ng egg cells. Ito yung nucleus na nagko-contain ng genetic material or hereditary information. Okay, so yung follicle ito yung ovary, ito yung fimbra or follicle yan. Yung parang kamay siya. Okay, maraming galamay. Siya yung passageway kung saan doon dumadaan yung egg cell. Okay, female has three outside openings between the legs. These openings are the vagina, urethra, and anus. So the vagina or birth canal is between the anus and the the urethra. Okay? So ito yung uh, vagina, ito yung anus and urethra. Okay? So this urethra, urinary bladder, ang purpose niyan is to uh, release urine, okay? Yung mga toxin sa ating katawan, yung waste. The vagina opens between the legs where it is protected by folds of skin known as vulva. So where the vulva meets in front, there is a small mass of tissue called the clitoris that contains many nerve endings for sensing. Okay, ito yung labium and ito yung clitoris. Okay. Ito na masyadong i-discuss yun. Masyadong ayoko. Okay, next is urethra. It is a duct through which urine passes. Okay, nasabi ko naman kanina ito. Okay, cervix. At the exterior end of the vagina, the cervix begin. Interior end of the vagina, the cervix begin. Ito yung vagina, yan. At ito yung cervix, yung parang may dalawang bukol dito. Yung parang humaharang siya dito. Okay? Yan yung tinatawag nating uh, cervix. It is a short canal that leads to the uterus. Okay? Uterus. It is in the uterus that the baby develops. Okay? Ito yung uterus. But ito yung nasa gitna. Yan. Yan po yung uterus. On each side of the uterus is the ovary. Okay? Ito yung ovary. Yan, nakadikit dito yung ovary. At ito naman yung uterus. Diyan po na-fertilize yung yung egg cell. Kapag nagkaroon ng union ng sperm and egg cell, dito siya magstay dito sa lining ng uterus. Diyan po siya mag-stay at magde-develop. Next is ovaries are the organs that produce ova or egg cells. Each ovary is very close to the fallopian tube. Okay? Ito yon ovaries. Okay? Fallopian tube. So it is the passageway that convey the ovum to the uterus. So, kapag matured na po yung egg cell, dadaan po siya dito sa pre-room, papuntang fallopian tube, at palabas dito, papuntang uterus. Okay? As the ovum moves along the fallopian tube, fertilization or the union of eggs and sperm can happen during sexual activity. Okay, so these are sperm and eggs. Okay. Every female is born with a large number of ova or singular ovum, which are the female gametes. However, these ova are not fully developed. Okay, kumbaga, hindi lahat na na-develop. Isa lang yung fully developed. Yun yung lumalabas doon sa ovary. At nagka-travel papuntang fallopian tube at na-fertilize. Okay? Skip na natin to. Okay, summary. So these are the structure and function. Ovary produces female gametes or ova. Fallopian tube carries ovum from the ovary to the uterus. Uterus, place where the embryo develops, and vagina, place where the sperms are deposited. Okay, why is it important to know the differences in the male and female reproductive system? Bakit pa kinakailangan pa natin alamin? So every reproductive system has its own function, diba? And they are responsible for procreation. Okay, and what was one fact that you learned that surprised you? Okay, so i-share nyo po ito sa comment section kung ano yung fact na natutunan nyo about sa reproductive system, male and female reproductive system. What have you realized after learning about the parts and function of the human reproductive system? Okay, lagay nyo po sa comment section. Share nyo po yung natutunan nyo. Okay, skip na natin yan. Okay, disclaimer po. I'm just using this EPP for educational purpose only. Okay, I hope you learned something in my simple discussion. So, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you po. See you next in my videos. See you in my next video. Ano yung bali-baliktad sinasabi ko? Peace.